Hello, again. Again and again. How are we? Right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to give it a minute, wait for a couple more people to pop on in. Is anybody watching? Nobody really needs to see a packet of baby wipes, do they? Let me just straighten up that camera. Beautiful. Well, welcome back. Hello. Welcome back to everyone this afternoon. I am Natalie May from Natalie May Scrapbooking, and I am in here today doing some free live little, hello again Susan, free live little mini classes just for you guys to say thank you very much for being our wonderful customers, and we appreciate you. And we are also part of the super awesome Australian Great International Craft Show held by CraftAlive. And as part of that event this weekend, we have got some fantastic specials on offer, which you can see right here over at our website. I'm not gonna bang on about them because you've heard me talk about them. What have I done? 4, 8... 11 times so far. So I'm really enjoying these. The live Facebook that we did this morning, we started a accordion mini album using some mixed media techniques. I'm going to make some arty Christmas cards now, and then this afternoon we will finish off that accordion album, and that might be a good one to pop back and have a bit of a look at. Okay, so jump online to nataliemay.com.au. I can also highly recommend jumping in and checking out our Black Friday tab, because I keep finding a few little bits and pieces around the studio here and going, you know what, let's put these in the Black Friday sale as well. So just pop in on the odd occasion, have a little bit of a look and see what you can come up with. All right, let's get into it. I've had a little bit of an idea. We have got these absolutely gorgeous cuttables. These are our cuttables here that we use, that we've created for here in the studio, and we love them. I really wanted to do some Australian animals that weren't tacky. I wanted cute animals and I wanted arty animals, and I wanted to do some gift tags. Some tags that we can put onto a card or put onto something. Tie a ribbon around and wrap around your gift. So these are $4.50 for an A4 piece, or 2 A5s, however it comes to you. And I think that they are super, super cute. So I thought today I would create some card backgrounds in these sort of colour ranges. Off camera, I have prepared some pieces of plain white cardstock. I've pulled out 3 paint colours, which I'm thinking are going to go really quite nicely for the background here. And there's one more I want to grab, called Clotted Cream, that I have been using a lot. Main reason being, some of these tags have a really lovely cream background. So I'm going to prep, and I didn't prepare enough card here, but that's okay. I'm going to prep some card with some Clotted Cream is the colour, and it's an Art by Marlene colour. And I'm going to use a palette knife to put this on because I want something a little bit more rustic, a little bit more organic. And why does that keep blocking on me? I love these fine nozzles, however, they are prone to, there we go, they are prone to blocking up. So popping a little bit of a painty sort of background. So this is my catalyst tool. This is one of my favourite arty tools to use, and I really like using it because it comes clean. It gives a really creative sort of background. And I'm just using heavy bodied acrylic paint. And can you see that it's going on nice and rough? Hello, Naomi, she's back. Naomi's going to be my little linky ninja. You don't have to do that, darling. I'm very grateful though. Okay, let's get a little bit more on, and then I'm going to have to go and cut some more card because I had a blonde moment and apparently I can't count, but that's okay. And I don't mind that I'm putting it on a bit thick here. It won't take too long to dry in this Adelaide day today. It's very steamy and gross here. And I'm going to push some more colours over the top of this in a minute. So this is kind of like a really lovely neutral beige. It's quite soft. And this is, like, by putting it on with a catalyst tool, makes it look a little bit more arty-farty, rather, and there's, you know, no brush strokes. So Clotted Cream is the colour, and it is a Art by Marlene paint. Ella, yeah. In the box just down here, could you get 6 pieces of white card for me? This size, so there should be some in there like that already. And just trim those back to be 9.5 centimetres by 14 was the measurement that I used. Thank you. Because apparently I can't count. But that's okay. So these ones are all having this really nice creamy, clotted cream. Sounds kind of gross, but works. There we go. They are done, and let me clean up as I go here. Is it raining there yet? It was, I haven't actually been, I walked outside to see if it was warm or not. I can't see any rain as yet here in Adelaide, but it's supposed to be coming through quite damp today, but I think it's just starting to spit. All right. So there's the first lot. So that is an Art by Marlene neutral tone. So the reason I chose that tone, hello Delphina, is because these little koalas on here have got this kind of beigey background, and I thought I would use that. So I've got 6 cards that I'll do with that Clotted Cream, and then I will do a couple in just a second using maybe Mineral as the base colour, which is this lovely blue-grey. 1 second, I'll be back. And here I am thinking I was organised. Okay. So I'll do some more here, and I'll use Mineral. So squeeze a little bit of paint on, and this has got that really nice blue-grey. Blue-grey tone. And I have a plan to add some stenciling and some splatters of colour as well on these perhaps. I've got some Hessian here. I'm going to go for a little bit more of a rusticy sort of look, perhaps. I don't know. But I want them all to be the same technique, very, very similar. I want to show you how easy it is to do, a production line sort of card. You don't have to be super creative, because I swear this isn't a creative thing at all. I'm just kind of whacking it on there like that. Missed a bit at the bottom. And I might do a couple in sage. Oh, look at that colour, isn't it beautiful? So when I like to use this tool, I like to use it with like a flat edge, so that it's really a little bit more creative and not so swipey. And because the hero of this, of these cards is going to be the tags, so we don't need to be overdoing it too much. God, I'm so impressed with myself. So many Christmas projects this year. Who am I? Ooh, that's a lot of paint. That one might need a heat tool to dry that baby off. All right, there we go. Welcome to everybody just joining in. I'm making some arty, messy Christmas cards using our cuttables, our product that we create here in the Super Studio. Heat tool. So I've got some acrylic paint on some 300 GSM cardstock. It's a really nice weighted cardstock. And like I was saying in the previous live Facebooks that I've done, I like to make all of my cards on just a 6x4 or slightly smaller piece of card. And then I call them my card fronts, and then I stick them all down to a card when it comes a bit closer to putting them together. I do it for a couple of reasons. It's actually a really lovely way of photographing them for you guys, so that they're not too curly and gross. And then I tend to, just stick them onto something after. All right, so I have got 1, 2, 3 pieces with this lovely blue-grey cool mineral colour. I've got 3 pieces with this gorgeous sage. I have 6 pieces, which are hopefully just dry here, of clotted cream. And I'm going to add another layer of colour now to these to give them a little bit more oomph. So let's start with these guys. Now, something that these cards here have got, our tags have got, see how it's kind of got like this watercolory sort of effect going on? So I thought I might try and recreate some of that. So on my mat here, I'm going to do a puddle of sage and a puddle of blue. So I've got a daub of paint. I have got some fancy Adelaide water in a water spray bottle, and I'm just going to spray some water on there. I've got a paintbrush, a wet paintbrush, and some water, and I'm just going to make a little wash. Just like that. So I'm taking the acrylic paint and adding some water to it to just make it a little bit more fluid. All right. And now I'm just going to splatter it on and kind of puddle it on and around my tag. I'm going to take my water spray and make it a little bit more fluid, and I can take my finger and give it a loose rub like that, and it's just creating this little bit of a arty background, and I'm happy with that, because what will happen is that will stick on the top, and I'm going to have some other little elements. it's all actually kind of, and a little tap. It's going to work out quite nice. Right, so I'm going to pop these down on put them on my bench to dry. And I'll do another one in the green. And so making it quite liquidy, because that's a word. And then water spraying it to make it more fluid and a bit more puddled. Splat, splat, splat. It looks a bit blotchy. You're just going to have to trust the process. And I'll do one more. Actually, no, I won't. I'll do it in a different colour. I'll do the mineral. This is a Nuvo water spray bottle. It is my favourite water spray bottle to use because if you have slightly arthritic or sore fingers, some people find it really hard to do that pumping trigger motion. I like those. We sell them as an individual bottle and they're quite inexpensive. This is going to... All of these puddles are going to backfire on me. I haven't got enough space on my desk, so I'm just going to make some more space here. Let's do another one. I'm going to pop some of this colour onto here in a splatter. I really hope I'm not making this look difficult, guys. Okay, Michelle's just asked a question. Let me just take my glasses off so I can read the screen. Does it matter what water gets used with Lindy sprays and magicals? Just asking because I made some distress sprays with ink refills and it works best with distilled water. Correct. Naomi's answered that question beautifully. I do use, when I make up my Lindy sprays, Adelaide tap water is notoriously, it's got a lot of minerals in it. So Adelaide water, what I tend to do is I will boil water in the kettle, boil the jug. If you have a water filter at home, I like to use a water out of the water filter. Then I boil it in the kettle and then I let it come back to room temperature and add it in then. I find that sometimes all the minerals and the bits and pieces can react, but this is, it depends on what part of Australia you live in. That's what I use. You can definitely use distilled water. Distilled, what do we call that? Ironing water, if you are if you're that person that does ironing, and use that water. I don't use that water. So yeah, personal preference, Michelle. So for what we're doing here today, I'm just mixing some, fancy Adelaide water, which is not at all fancy, just to get some little bit of watercolour effect into the background. Keeping in mind my tags are all going to go in the middle and these are going to dry up a little bit lighter. They're looking very, very creative here. And I can mix both of these colours together. So you do have to practice to get the flick happening. There is no escaping that. I am going to dry it and then add a deeper colour, which is going to be probably a blue. So hopefully this works out as good as it does in my head, because I've had this idea and I've decided that this is what needs to happen. So I really do want more of a painty sort of watercoloury background. Whoops. And I will have to hit it with the heat gun to dry them off in a second because we've got some puddles. Yeah, rainwater can be a little bit hard, Michelle. I do find that if you're using rainwater for mixing Lindy's, it can be quite hard water. So distilled water would be definitely your best option. So see what happens as soon as we add that water. It lightens the colour up, makes it more of a wash, and doesn't actually look too bad at all. So I've just got these drying off to the side, and it's adding a really lovely, interesting effect here to all of our backgrounds that I've created. So like all my other classes I've done, we talk about doing a messy, you've got to trust the process and put it all together. It's about trusting the background, creating a bit of a ugly background before you get to the finished product, is before you get to that finishing line. So we have to put this work together before we do that. I've got this nice blue, so I'm going to add some nice puddles here. I need some more paint. Oops, that's way too much paint. And I plan on adding some stenciling in a minute and some doodling, and then sticking the tags on. So this is going to have a little bit of a process to it. And when you are making lots of these cards together, this can be nice and quick. So on a day, like normally you could take these and lay them out in the sun to dry, then it would speed up that drying process quite quickly. But today, of course, we're going to have to dry them via heat tool. These are looking very good. Very good, very good. But I don't want big bold brush strokes like that. I want to make it more blotchy. So that's where this water spray kind of comes in. All right, I have made a heck of a mess. However, it is going to fall on the floor. Let me wipe this off and then we'll start drying them off to see these really cool effects that we've got just using acrylic paint. You could also do this with watercolours. You could also do this with distress inks and distress oxides. There's so many things that you can do. All of those products that you've been hoarding at home, saving for a rainy day, you can use all of them. I know that this little technique is not new and it looks a little bit messy, but it's going to match in really nicely with our Chrissy cards, I hope. And I've just dripped paint on my carpet. Nope, missed the carpet. Got the mat. And drying these babies off is the most boring bit out of the lot. So we're just going to go like this, dry a few at a time. What's everybody up to on this lovely Saturday afternoon other than hanging out with me? Surely you guys have got something a little bit more exciting to do. I did see a few of my wonderful customers last night in at the Bowerbird markets here in Adelaide. There was, I think, 3 or 4 that I spotted, who spotted me, who watched our lives yesterday. And then there was about 4 or 5 other people who I know as our regular customers who didn't see me, but I saw them. So a couple of ladies asked for a selfie with me, which was quite funny. Well, I think it's funny because I'm just a normal person like you guys. All right, so we're getting there. It's just taking a little minute for that water to evaporate, especially some of these really puddly ones here, letting some drips run down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to roll my paper towel over the whole lot. And it's going to soak up the big puddles, speed up the drying process, and create some really cool effects. There we go. This is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. A little bit of blue. So this colour is called Night. The reason I wanted a little bit of blue is because when we look at, or I could have used a deep green, when we look at these colours in particular, they've got a lot of blue-grey in them, and I think that they will look really nice to do a few of them with some night and a few of them with fur, which is this colour. So I'm going to do just a few little splatters of these colours, nothing more than that. I don't want big strong amounts, I want just little splatters. In fact, I'm going to transfer this green into my little slurry dish here that I make. And I'm just going to add a few little sprinkles of green to the top row. Turn it around, do some on the, oops, that's a big blob. Happy with that. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this Night, which is in this really deep navy blue. So a little bit. So this is a beautiful little bowl gifted to me by a lovely friend. And what I like about it, and I mean you could use a little soy sauce bowl or something like that, but what I like about it is it's just going to keep my drips contained. And it does work quite nicely. I like to use it for gesso, and I like to use it for doing this sort of effect. So arty Christmas gift tags, arty Christmas cards. These little techniques can be done on layouts, and when I finish the cards and bring them up to the camera, you'll be able to see all of these little details make a difference. And you might think, oh my God, that's so messy. But no, we're getting there. Hello Raquel, how are you? Okay, so we've just used Night, Mineral, Sage and Fur to build the backgrounds for our cards. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm quickly just going to heat tool these, and then we are going to add some stenciling with the Vicky Bouton's Wrapped in Ribbons Festive Stencils. They are in clearance at the moment, and this is what I am talking about here. This is the stencil, so it's a three-pack. A three-pack of stencils, and they are a damn good size stencil with 3 different designs. So we are going to use these. I'm going to use 2 of these on these cards. I'm going to use this one and this one. Gee, excuse me. I sneezed and my heat tool turned off. Oh no, my heat tool's died. Nope. Hang on. My heat tool's come out of the PowerPoint. That was the problem. So these little splatters that we are doing are actually going to go to the background after our stenciling. So I'm not at all concerned about how messy this looks, because our stenciling that's going to go over the top is going to be the hero. Dun, dun, dun. That one can go there. So I just want to take as much dampness out of these splatters as I possibly can. Thank you. Hey Naomi, how much is a 3-pack of those stencils? So the Vicky Bouton's 3-pack, what do they come down to? I'm going to say a ridiculous amount, like, I don't even know, $8.95 maybe for 3 stencils. I'm sweating in here with this heat tool going, I can tell you. $10.95. So is that the discounted price with the 30% off because it's a Christmas product? Ooh, hot. This would look really lovely if we did it with with some more pastel colours as well. If you are a pink or a purple person, because I know that there's some purple people watching, and that is okay. For those of you, oh, $8.37. Look, that just got better. That's with the discount. 3 stencils for $8.37. Are you kidding? Ridiculous. Yes, if you have some Christmas tags or some Christmas images that you would like to, you could do this lovely little technique for doing that as well. Okay, I've got a big goober on that one. I'm just going to let that sit, and I've got a fan here in front of me. I'm going to put it in front of the fan and work on this one last because, it takes too long. Okay, so here's our little splattery pieces of artwork. I don't hate that at all, and it's going to be nice, especially like that. So let's just pop those aside. And I'm going to take these stencils out of the packet. So this is the Wrapped in Ribbons of Vicky Bouton 3-pack. Well, I destroyed that packaging. And I want to use this one. Oh, look, and I just could have taken them out the bottom. Ha ha ha! Destroyed that. And I don't want to use the holly leaves, but I am going to use this one. Totally didn't need to take everything out of the packet, Natalie. All right, how good's that? And that. All right, time to bring out the Vicky Bouton Blue Glaze again. This is in the clearance section. And if you haven't used this, are you ready? Look how pretty it is. Can you see that gold glaze? Yes, I can. All right. Let's glaze, baby. So you can use a palette knife to put this on. You can use a card to put this on. You can use anything you like. I am going to put it on like this. This worked out really well in my head too, by the way, so I hope it works on here. You ready? Yeah. Okay, let's pop that aside. So I will do 6 with this stencil. This one I'm going to work up like that. And I'm just focusing on the areas where I have, you know, that I'm going to see. I don't need to stencil the whole lot. Oh, that's going to dry up a treat. 3. $7 for the glaze. Oops, that's an unnecessary amount. Oh, it's so pretty. 1, 2, 3, and we'll do this one. Don't need very much. So there are a variety of colours that Vicky has put out, Vicky Booten and American Crafts have put out. This is the blue and it is absolutely lovely. The Art by Marlene also does a very, very similar product in a gold and a silver, which would be equally good. Much different on price point with the Art by Marlene ones, but the tubs are actually really big, a lot bigger than you realise. Oh, that'll do. I feel like there needs to be some here, so I just need to do a bit of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do 1 more, and then I will crack out the other stencil. So you don't need... Okay, I have missed that question. I will put this last one on, then I'll come back and read that question. Give me a sec. Sorry, I glance up at my computer screen every now and again and I don't see all the questions. So hang on a seckie. Let me go. Yes. Put that up there. Let me wipe this off so that it doesn't dry. Because it does help. If you do let it dry on here, it will have a permanency to it that is quite annoying. Annoying because it might not come off. Okay, while they are just air drying, I'm just going to go back and find Raquel's question. Okay, Raquel's asked a question about the journal I started making this weekend. Am I going to put it together? I'm not going to put it together today. I will be putting it together in our private Facebook group a bit later on. I am struggling to get all the things done at the moment, and I kind of figure there's no point rushing it, and I want to build some more pages. So that's something that will happen, but probably just not today or tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to use the trees all going in the one direction here. I want them to be going like that and like that. That is what I'm chasing. And I might pop another one. Actually, you know what? I'm happy with that. So yes, Raquel, I will be doing it, but it won't be during this online show. I'm finding that doing 12, 3, 4 is 12 live Facebook straight can be a little taxing, and I'm wanting to try and get as much of your orders out in the next couple of days as possible. So yeah, you know, just trying to do all the things. So you'll just have to keep it. I will announce in our Facebook group, but I'm pretty sure I want to add some more pages to them. So It will be something that, you know, I'll build the pages up, and when I've got enough, I will do the class. All right, so these are actually coming together very well, not taking a ridiculous amount of time. How am I going for time? Oh, plenty. Whoops, that's crooked, and that's annoying when it's crooked. Oh, so nice. And that's not even like the full stencil, and yet you still get that beautiful little shimmer on there. And this gold, this blue glaze with the gold is going to be the perfect match. And let's see if that one's dried with the big goober on it. Not quite, so we're just going to wipe that off and pretend that it's never happened. Take the focus away from it. I might be able to stick something over it. Gorgeous. All right, so that is the Vicky Bouton Creative Effects Azura Blue Glaze. Stunning. Next level. Gorgeous with a gold. So that's instant shimmer to your hands, your stencils, your workspace, the whole lot. Yeah, I could do with a, thank you, I could do with a range of people to jump in and do all of these. The lovely Naomi's helping out and doing a few lives over the weekend, which was wonderful. She did some gorgeous little cards last night. I did catch the end of as I got home from the markets, but just before I fell asleep on the lounge. So yes, plenty of different projects over the weekend and something to suit everyone, hopefully. All right. I'm going to take my heat tool and just take a moment to run the heat tool over these. They shouldn't take too long to dry because we didn't put on a really thick coat. I only put on quite a thin, gorgeous coat. There's a couple of things that I want to do with my tags. I want to edge them in black, and I want to matte these pieces. They all need a black outline, and I'm going to matte some of them onto a piece of black card so that it's a little bit more dimensional. So having a heat tool is certainly something that I can recommend. I do believe we have got some heat tools in our Black Friday section. So if your heat tool is on the way out, I can recommend doing that. Thank you. Marina's just commented saying, love your nails too. They did look nicer. They looked really nice on day one of the craft show, before all the paint was in here. This hand's slightly better, ever so slightly better, not very much. So just drying these, and I'm going to pop them aside to cool down, and then I'm going to ink the edges of my tags. So it is a bit of a process, but this kind of happens when you're doing production line cards. And it shouldn't take, you know, if I'm doing 12 cards in an hour, I don't actually think that's too bad. I don't dislike that at all. And if I didn't talk so much, I could probably whip out a whole heap more. And someone in my video earlier today asked about my tattoo, and I just coloured that in with my highlighters because I'm secretly a 15-year-old girl who thinks that that's mature. You know. All right, whew, sweating. I'm going to put those aside and they're just going to come back down to temperature and dry. I'm going to take my tags. So these are my tags that have been cut out previously. And they are super cute. I'm going to take some, sorry guys, you need me to talk to you. Oh my gosh, girls, really. Okay, I'm going to take my black archival ink and I've got a blending sponge and I'm going to ink the edges of it. Now, the reason being is that my images have all got some sort of shadowing to them. You could actually leave the black printed border around it, but we chose not to do that this time. I just wanted to show you how quick and easy it was to ink the edges. And when you're inking, I always put my inking tool on a little bit of an angle so that I get a little bit, little bit of a shadow all the way around. Right, well that's clearly not going to work for me because I keep picking up that same tool that has no Velcro. Oh. Okay, I'm going to throw that tool out in a minute. Let's try this one. You have to remember that these tools are consumable objects, which means that they are, you know, Velcro is going to get covered in paint if it looks anything like mine. You can put new Velcro dots on them, which you can just pick up from, you know, Bunnings or somewhere like that. But by the time you go down to Bunnings, trail through the aisles, it's just probably quicker to buy another set of blending tools. But yes, they are a consumable product. And buying a good quality one to start with and not a rip-off brand will make them last significantly longer. So the blending tool is just giving that nice little edge. So I like to do this with an archival ink because it has more of a permanency to it and it's not going to smudge onto my tag. It's given it that shadowed effect instead of having that freshly cut look that if you didn't ink the edges, that's what it would have. It would be more of a, you know, I've just cut this out sort of look. But that's not what we're really going for. We are going for a effortless, I made this, but I've made it look freaking excellent look. Now, the other thing that we have online that a lot of people don't realise, excuse me, is, and I haven't punched a hole on that one, is some ribbon. So we have got some rolls of red, white, so that's an organza, there's a black, and then there's a gold edged ribbon as well. They are very inexpensive and very easy to use, and especially at this time of the year. So what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm thinking I'm going to add I'm going to staple some ribbon to each of my tags rather than me sitting here trying to thread the holes, which, trust me, you don't need to watch me do. I think that it'll work a treat. I do want to add a little bit of depth here. I bet Naomi's sitting there trying to find the ribbon on our website now, aren't you, Naomi? So she can link it in. How good is she? But in a minute, I'll give you a bit of a look on the difference it makes when it comes to inking the edges, and it just creates that just gorgeous shadow. Are they even online, Naomi, or am I just dreaming it? It's just something that I've just got sitting here in the shop that I haven't got around to putting online yet. Oh, she's found it. You're a rock star. Are they expensive, Naomi? Are the little rolls of ribbon expensive? Oops, that one's still wet. Just put my thumbprint in it. A bead threader to put the ribbon through. Hey, that's an excellent idea. Very good idea. I love that. You found all 4 ribbon. Oh, good work. So they are a nice little roll. Handy little roll. And we have had them in for a while, but they're the sort of things that people kind of bypass. Now, like I said before, if I was to do this with a distress ink or a distress, are they only $1 each? Are you kidding? Jeez. The distress inks and the oxides take a moment to dry because they are a water-based ink, whereas the archival ink is $1 each. Are you sure? Sorry. So the archival ink is that instant drying, so I'm not going to get any additional smudging, and I think that that is just making the quick cards even quicker. I am currently on 50 minutes exactly for 12 cards, and I have to say I am nearly done. So while they are just sitting there, I'm now going to take the black $1. My God. I don't think there's anything on my website that's $1. All right. No, it's not per metre, it's a roll. Oh, they're a metre each. Right, okay. Welcome back. So I'm going to take some of this ribbon and I'm just going to do some little pieces, and I'm going to fold. And I'm not going to make this look clumsy at all. I just don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to thread it through the holes. That works. And it needs them though. Done. Done. Come on, Natalie, smash it out. Staple, done, done. Staple, easiest, cheapest embellishment you can get. So we're coming up to Christmas party season, hey? Who knew? I'm still waiting for October. Crikey, it just snuck up on me, hey? Oh, I haven't worked out what I'm doing for Christmas yet. I'm not even ready to think about Christmas Day, Boxing Day. I think I might go, I'm thinking about going to Port Lincoln over on our Eyre Peninsula. That is where my mother's ashes are going to go, and I think that I might just jump on a plane and go over and do that. Go on, I don't know, or I might do that later on in the year. I haven't decided yet, but go and have a couple of days in the sun. We're not closed at all over Christmas. It'll just be, there's a couple of days that we are closed to the public for face-to-face shopping. The website's always open, always good. And there are classes happening. Claire's teaching classes over, I think Claire's teaching a class on the 28th, I believe it is. And she's doing a cover for the art journal, which is very awesome. And here's the hot tip: even if you haven't done any of Claire's classes, you can still do this class, because you can do the cover of any journal, or you could even put it as a page in your journal. It doesn't have to be a art journal cover. You can make it anything you want. However, there is no physical kit that we pop in the post. Claire will be using some of the stencils that she has used in her classes throughout the year. So if you have been collecting Claire's stencils and doing her classes, then the cover class will be perfect for you. Or you can just adapt it to suit. It's only $29.95 and the class will take a couple of hours, and you just use your paints. It should be lovely and fun. And Claire is just an absolutely gorgeous person and an amazing teacher. All right, well, they are all on, and that just took me 3 or 4 minutes to do. And I think that, other than the fact that it's a little, you know, messy on that, I don't hate that at all. Rightio, let's have a look. Couple of things. I've got some Hessian here. Hessian is something else that we sell, and something else that is another little underestimated product that is very, very handy, very cool, makes a really easy embellishment for your project. Now, I think I can hear Naomi. Where's the Hessian? I am going to mat. I've cut some black photo mats to mat these so that they've got a black border. So some of them are going to have some Hessian, some of them are going to be plain. So the good thing about Hessian is you can fray it off. Just grab it and pull it, and it's got that little bit earthier sort of feel to it, like that. And I am going to staple in the middle. This tape is my go-to double-sided tape. So I love me a good quality thick tape. This is the thickness that I use on everything. Which is the 1 inch thickness, I think it is, or 3/4 of an inch thickness. Oh, I love it. I'm going to take my little koala, and then he's going to go there. Can take a little bit more off the side and fray it a little more. And I will foam tape him onto there. See, the only thing that I have not got ready for this card is the sentiments. And I just didn't have enough time to get all of those ready. But he's going to go like that. Done. Next card is going to be, oops, this one. Let's see if we have a photo mat for it. $3 for a metre for the Hessian. Excellent. The Hessian is a nice earthy product. I do like to stick it down with a stapler. I think that it handles, it can be a little difficult with double-sided tape. Glue will work. However, oh, don't you die on me. However, a stapler will work better. Double-sided tape is what I was talking about. So having worked in a scrapbooking store here in Adelaide for, I think I worked there for 13 years, I learnt the value of a double-sided tape. I now understand how very, very important it is to have a good quality double-sided tape. Cannot stress it enough, honestly. You know how we all try to save $1, right? And just buy some cheap tape, like an unbranded one. Don't recommend. Don't recommend at all. I find that every time you do this, the adhesive will not last. Leather handbag, vinyl handbag, okay? We know what's going to give you a much longer finish. What's going to last a lot longer. We know that the leather handbag, I'm just going to leave that one like that. We know the leather handbag is going to last longer. The reason I use that analogy, let's just say craft brand #1 sells a double-sided tape, unbranded, it's just a roll. Chances are they buy it out of China for a very small price point, and then they add their margin and repackage it as their own, etc, etc, etc. The adhesive is not going to last on your project. Express Graphics is the brand that we use. You pay a few dollars more. You do not need to use the same amount of tape. The tape tears, as you can see that I'm using it here. The quality of it is just next level. Cannot fault it at all, honestly. It is my absolute favorite go-to product, and I will use it until the cows come home. I will not use any other tape. The only other branded product adhesive that I use are the foam dots. Those lovely, super cute little foam circles that I have been using all weekend. They are the only other adhesive that I tend to use that is a different brand. You won't see me using anything unbranded because, you know, I can bring out my own rolls of tape from China and brand them as Natalie May scrapbooking products, but the bottom line is I don't think it's gonna last. I don't think something cheap and nasty is going to last. It's going to give you that same, oh, that's so cute, give you that same longevity that you really, really do want with your products. We want something to last a lot longer these days. We're not wanting to have something that's only going to last 10 minutes, are we? What's the point? I know that not everybody can afford that, but things like your glue and your adhesive, don't compromise at all. Don't compromise on that. You will get caught out. How am I going for time? Oh, an hour, and I'm nearly done. So yes, definitely recommend. The 6mm tape is excellent if you are scrapbooking. When I'm card making, I like to use a 12mm or an 18mm or a 1-inch tape because I like to just whack it on there. Quick and simple works better for me. I am an instant gratification sort of person. I much prefer to whack some on there and know that it's going to stick and know that it's going to last. And one big bold piece, kind of like I'm doing today, does the job really, really nicely. And I really hope I'm not making this look difficult, because I can tell you what, guys, it's not at all. And as you have probably noticed, I like to use my craft knife. I pick up the edge of the tape, peel it back, done. It takes almost no time at all to do that. I'm not trying to find the end of the tape and stick it with stick it down with something, and it's not how it works for me. You know, trying to find the end of the tape and find the end of the roll. Ugh, ain't got time for that. No, thank you. Is there anybody watching, Naomi? I've got my head down and I'm not even looking at the screen. I hope somebody's still here. Oh, so cute. Come back to you. Let's get some more Hessian. Oh, there are people watching. I'm just waffling on, chatting to myself now. I'm here by myself. Everyone's gone home. Now, I haven't got any more black mats, so let's just pretend that I do. And I'm just going to staple these. I'm going to come through with some foam tape in a minute and foam tape all of my tags down. Oh, she's super cute. Look at that. That's nice on there. And we've got the possum and the Tassie Devil left. And I've still got some more Hessian, so let's just cut that up. Still watching and enjoying. Oh, good. Thank you. You're keeping me company. Hello, Miss Judith. So the lovely Judith, there's a few people watching who have not been able to get rid of me. The lovely Judith was coming to classes with me at the scrapbooking store that I worked at 20 years ago. Well, it wasn't 20 years ago. I started, well, it was 18 years ago. I started working at a scrapbooking store here in Adelaide when Jessica was 3. I pushed her in a stroller. Jessica just turned 21. So I'm thinking that I've been around for a very long time in this crafting industry. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm going to use some heavy duty foam tape to stick my tags on. Hello, Vicky. I see you watching. So I'm going to cut. So this is the Altenew. I bring this big fat roll in from the States, this guy. This is from Altenew, and I do love this foam tape. We have another brand on the shelf, which I think is a 3M, scrapbook adhesives, big monster roll of tape. Can highly recommend scrapbook adhesive, one of the world's leading brands, which has been around for, again, I worked 20 years ago. They were still around 20 years ago. There we go. Value for money on a roll, can recommend. It is, you pay per metre a very... Christine Carter's here as well. You pay a higher amount, but the adhesive is designed for paper crafters, and that is the important bit. You want an adhesive that is going to last the distance for crafters, not the crap you buy from Bunnings. Yes, I think some of you will be hard to get rid of. Thank you, Susan Bellamy. And I am more than happy to have you in my life. Oh, look at that kookaburra. And look how well the colours match in the background. That's just fantastic. I love that as I blow my own horn here. Yes, there are lots of people within this industry who have become my friends first, family, customers, the whole lot. I find that the people around me here keep me going. As I just sit here and cut tape and stick them on, I'll just keep waffling. When the scrapbooking store closed down here in Adelaide, and I was out of a job, I needed to keep teaching, I needed to keep creating, and I needed to keep hanging out with these people. I needed to keep everybody in my life. So my lovely, clever Trevor built me a studio at home where I continued to teach, and I was teaching some classes from home, and everybody just kept coming and doing my classes, and we managed to fit a lot of people in that little studio at home. And when we grew out of that is when we moved to our Somerton Park location, and now we are here. So it's just been a natural evolution here, and you know, I do it for the people, because I'm definitely not in this business to make any money. I can tell you right now. I probably shouldn't tell you that, because you know, I'm a business owner and blah 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 blah, but the reality of it is we do more things in life for love than we do that we get paid for, and that's okay. Susan was saying, love these, was wondering how to use these tags. Heaps of ideas now. Well, I hope you have got lots of ideas, because I'm nearly finished. Putting your Christmas sentiments on them is the last thing that you do if you wanted to, or you could leave them as blank. I think there's too much hessian on that one. You could leave them blank, but I quite like them with a sentiment, and that's something that I'll probably do off camera, because I've taken up enough of your lunch and I have to do another live in an hour. So finish off our journal. All right, let's take a moment and have a look here. And that's crooked and it's annoying me, and now it's more crooked. Okay, let's bring these up to camera and let's have a bit of a look. Oh, that's even worse. More of a haircut. There we go. Okay, let's pretend I'm going to tidy these up off camera. We can see that shimmer. Thank you, girls. I'm just reading your comments, which is why I'm not talking here. It means a lot. It's really hard when you're over here and I'm on this end of the camera and I chat away to myself and I don't know if anybody is watching. I can see that there's 34 people watching me, but I do often feel like I'm sitting here chatting to myself. I do like the idea of having this little bit of texture in here that took no time to stick on. I did do it a bit fast. I would normally perhaps fray it a little bit more and cut it a bit more to size, but you get the idea. And you can now see how this painty background does fit in quite nicely with these tags. And to me, these still look like, an Australian sort of tag, a Christmas card. I will stick these onto the front of cards, put a Christmas sentiment across here. I could have even added a little bit of stamping, and even those little green splatters that we added. I think that it needs that for dimension. I think that was an important thing to kind of have there. So there we go. All right, I will finish these guys off camera and add a few sentiments over the next few days. I'll take some photos and pop them on. Judith, you may get one of these cards, my love. So there you go, 12 cards, 1 hour and done. And a hell of a mess on my desk, I can tell you right now. Alrighty, I will be back here at 3:30 and we are going to finish the rest of our accordion album. Hopefully, if we just don't run out of time, and finish this project off. Chat soon, guys. Jump online to nataliemay.com.au and we'll link all the products. Naomi has linked everything that we've used in the comments here, but I'll try and link on the Facebook page as well. See you soon.